Okay, here we go. Here is our final on the Honda Superhawk CB77. This is an MPC kit. And overall, I think it turned out pretty well. I think I mentioned before that this is my the first motorcycle that I've ever built, and so for it being the first one, I'm fairly pleased with the way it came out. Just do a quick spin around here, and then we'll look at a few of the details. Yeah, overall, I'm pretty pleased with how it came out. There were some fit issues. Already mentioned. One of the things is when the engine went in. It just seems to me, but everything lined up the way it was supposed to. But it just seems to me like this top part of the engine needed to go back a little further, because there's a deal that hangs down back behind the fuel tank here that's just kind of hanging out there. You can't really see it, but maybe that's supposed to be part of where the fuel tank bolts on, so I could be wrong. But there was that part of it. And then one of the things I mentioned again that I'm a little disappointed with is that the headlight here was just chrome. It was chromed, and so you didn't really get you didn't get a clear headlight, which, not that big of a deal, I guess, but I just went ahead and sprayed it kind of an aluminum, and then hit it with some a Sharpie, a blue Sharpie, and then just kind of polished it, I guess, or whatever you might say, and just kind of tried to give it a little bit of depth. And it turned out okay, I guess. The decals were pretty good. This part of the sides of the fuel tank were actually supposed to be chrome or silver, but I kind of liked the way I was gonna hit them with some Ushi powder, but I kind of liked the way the gloss black looked on the sides here. This part was supposed to be chrome, and then the middle part here was supposed to be black, but I just decided to leave it all the black, and I think it looks okay. But yeah, that's as I said, for a first time motorcycle, and given MPC's history, it wasn't too bad. Let's see if we can focus in there so you can get a little more of the detail in there. Of course, the exhaust pipes were originally chrome, but I stripped the chrome off and then did the Ushi powder on the over gloss black. So that's what we did on that, and also on the see if we can get that to focus back again. On the headlight, part of the headlight here, it's the same thing. It's Ushi powder over the gloss black. The same with the fenders, the front and back, and then these pieces that hold the front fender in. Did the same thing with that. So I do have a kind of a seam down the middle of the fuel tank, but the way they had you put this fuel tank on, you had to actually put one side on here, because there's a pin that fits on this side, and then there's a pin on this side, so you had to glue the two pieces separately onto the frames. You couldn't put the fuel tank together and then put it on as one piece, so there really wasn't much. I didn't have much choice but to kind of leave that seam. But again, first time. It was a learning process. Would have liked to have done the some of the cables, the brake cables, throttle cables, the clutch, and all of that, but we'll leave that for next time. Again, one of my biggest gripes probably was the instructions. Here it says, read these instructions first. They should not call these instructions. They should call these suggestions, or maybe pictures that maybe halfway look like what you're supposed to do, because there were a lot of steps in here that they didn't really show you where things went. Now, again, admittedly, putting these parts on wrong, that was on me. I just didn't read the directions. But some of this other stuff, just give you an example here. When you're putting the exhaust on, see, it actually shows putting the exhaust on as step number 1. But the piece here, number 57, that it shows in step number 2 actually goes behind the exhaust. And so really, this should be number 1, this should be number 2, and then you can put the other pieces on. But and they did the same thing on the other side, and it's the same thing. What I found was that it was much easier to put this piece on and then put the exhaust on. But anyway, so question is, would I do another motorcycle? Absolutely. Had a blast with this one, even with the few problems that I had. Would I build another MPC motorcycle? Maybe if you gave me one, but I think I would probably, if I were going to buy another one, it would probably be a Tamiya or some other brand. But anyway, pleased with the way it came out overall. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed sharing it with you. Maybe some other guys that have this kit get some pointers on what to look out for. Another thing, and this is not, I didn't really show this from the back too much, but you'll notice here that the back fender is crooked. Again, I don't know if that was me or just the fit, but I had a really hard time just getting it that straight. But anyway, all right, and that's it for now. Thank you all for watching. Have a great week. We'll talk to you later. Bye.